Yeah, it was a fun match. I thought we played really aggressive from the jump and pushed CCU back, and they've been playing really hot and playing good volleyball this time of year, so we were pleased to be able to push them back. I thought we played a complete match, and we followed the scouting report really well. We managed the lanes really well. We took big aggressive swings. We did exactly what we wanted to do tonight. So, it was just great to play a great volleyball match against a good team.
You guys jumped on them from the opening of set one and really just kept the pressure on them throughout the whole game. What were you seeing out there? I'll extend that to you guys as well. What was going on out there that you were able to just keep the pressure going?
Yeah, I think we were super aggressive from the start. Like, we wanted to come out strong. We wanted to start the match strong, and I think we did that with each and every set.
Yeah, and I'd also say, like she said, we followed the scouting report. Like, when we needed a shot, we fell back on that. Or, like, as an offense, like, making sure that we're attacking the right spaces. So I think we did that well.
It doesn't hurt to have this one as your first server. That goes on a little bit of a run for you. So, yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask, Coach, is you've seen Colorado Christian got here through their serving, keeping teams out of system. You guys come out and right off the bat, get a couple of aces in that opening rally, and it just kind of seemed to change the whole momentum of the match. What was your message to the team before the match began about your warning about what Colorado Christian had done to get to this point?
Yeah, I think we just knew they were going to play aggressive. They have nothing to lose, the 6th seed in the championship. So we expected them to come aggressive at us, just like they have the other teams. We didn't really talk anything more about that. With the serve and pass game, we want to be the more aggressive team. So if we're serving pretty aggressive, it's either equalizing or we have the advantage in that game. So I thought we did a nice job serving, fairly tactical and low air and aggressive when we needed to be aggressive, and put the ball in when we did need to keep the ball in play.
You just talked about the pressure. You guys talked about how do you keep the pressure on your opponent. I don't think they got more maybe than 3 points in a row at one point. The pressure,
Yeah.
they just never turn around. What's that say about this team?
Yeah, we were lower air tonight, and when we are lower air, that's where we continue to put pressure. We put pressure on the service line, we put pressure as a blocking unit, and then when we're not making hitting errors or service errors, it really pushes teams back. So I thought we did a really good job of staying low air, as simple as that sounds tonight. And slowing their offense, really important positive block touches or turn backs that then force them into taking different shots that they maybe don't want to take, or the shots that have worked for them that didn't work. So our blockers specifically did a really good job of making their offense a little more uncomfortable.
This can be for the players. There's just so much depth. They can't double team anybody. Maddie, Skylar, it didn't matter where they went. You had options. So what's that say to be able to have that threat of 6 attackers just constantly coming at you, and then being impactful at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty awesome as a setter. Like, I can take my pick, and I think our middles did a really good job tonight of being consistent up in trans, in serve receive, like taking the right swings. So it makes my job super easy because I'm like, oh, I could just set whoever I want here, and I think Maddie did a really good job tonight.
I definitely think it puts a lot of pressure on the other team, and it is one of our strengths that we have. If they're shutting down the outside or the pins, we always have the middle to go to. So it's definitely nice to have that depth.
Coach, can you talk about Delaney a little bit more, what she's meant to your team in this tournament? The Regis coach said she's glad she's graduated, what she's able to do.
Yeah.
It just seems like, man, when she gets on a roll, it is really hard. She's one of the best services in the conference.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can see when she goes into that mode and things go our way. You saw it in our 5-setter against Regis a few weeks ago. But yeah, when she's aggressive in that space and the serve's on, and I wouldn't want to be on the other side of it either. So it really puts us in a good spot to start the match. And then she's leading our defense. She has a really competitive, composed mindset, and I think that transfers into all areas of her play.
You talk about your MVP.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She's all right. No, Riley's been super steady for us all year. She's grown into a 6 rotation role that has been really, on and off in that role, back row, the last couple of years. And she gets served a ton of balls, and she's really stabilized her passing game. She has multiple shots, as you can see tonight, and we can do a lot of different things with our left sides, and specifically Riley if they stop one, then we have another solution to it. So I'm just really proud of her competitiveness, her composure, and just her confidence, honestly, in herself. And that's the biggest thing is believing she's as good as she is. And that's what you're seeing right now.
Riley, we talked, course, righty lefty, right? We wanted to be like we did joke about one of your first press conferences here. You kind of followed her track, and that's a lot of pressure, I would assume, to be like, oh, look how great this All-American, this 3-time All-American, and Player of the Year, and Tournament MVP, and here you are, kind of doing the same things. You've been able to kind of keep all that rolling. What's this journey been like for you?
I mean, I still use her as motivation every day. She's my biggest motivation. I see her every summer and go out and visit her. So she's definitely still somebody that I look up to. And sometimes I feel like the pressure is good for me. It's good for me to put that pressure on myself so that I have something to look forward to.
Coach, I want to ask you about Abby McCrimmon. She got to some amazing balls here today to keep things going and to keep the pressure on them and not on you. I mean, she just really flourished as a libero.
Yeah. And when she's feisty, she's feisty, and the ball doesn't hit the floor. So I thought she made some really critical digs at critical times tonight. She was putting the ball back in system and in scramble plays and just really like keeping us solid. You know, whether that's in the passing lane, she's a very business-oriented person, so she's on task. You know, she's very rarely losing focus, and I think that's a really critical trait for a libero.
So I know you have a lot more on your mind in NCAA tournament next. It's a few weeks. I know it's a long time to have to sit and wait, but how do you keep the industry to be involved players? How do you guys keep focused, keep your mind right, so when you do get to that big dance, you're off and ready to go?
Yeah, guys, how do we stay fit? No. I mean, you know, we've been hit or miss in the conference tournament. You know, we've been really good and not been able to win the conference tournament final. So this is a good win for us. I think it propels us forward. We're just going to stay focused, right? This is one of the stops on our journey, and we're going to celebrate the moment, and then we're going to get back to it next week. And we still have a lot of room to grow. You know, even though it's the end of the year, we still have a lot of room to grow. And so we're gonna push it hard in the gym. This last couple of weeks, we've been increasing the intensity, not decreasing it, and we're going to continue in that space because the Lone Star Conference is pretty tough, and we have other RMAC teams that are pretty tough. So, you know, it's no easy road, but our goals are big, so we got to put the work in the next week.
Well, the player talk about getting ready. You've been in the NCAA tournament, you've been there before. You're probably not going to be too nervous, but how do you guys keep your mind right going into the next round?
Yeah, I think something that we've harped on in the last couple of weeks is like the details and really grinding out all of the details, even if that's in practice, working hard with every little aspect and being intentional with every single rep that we get. So I think continuing to push forward in that space will be beneficial.
I mean, I know we're motivated. Like, obviously we've been there before and haven't gotten the result, but it's, like she said, this like is propelling us forward and motivating us for the next step. So I think we'll be super focused next week and wanting to get better in those little areas.
Congratulations, ladies, on winning a championship.
Thank
I
you.
know every championship is important, but you guys are very decorated here at MSU. But what makes this one so special for you guys?
I mean, I love this group. We have such a good group of girls, and I think that makes it like super special. And seeing the journey from like preseason to now has just been really cool, and getting to soak in that moment with the team is really awesome. So yeah.
I also think like being here for 4 years and Delaney 5, like it makes it really hard to just want your season to end. Like we want to push forward, we want to keep grinding and keep going and make it as far as we can.